with the transfer portal comes what it feels like is the thing that always happens in the transfer portal. AJ Storr is back in the transfer portal, now looking for his fourth school in as many years, dating back to his high school years. This is his eighth school in the last 8 years. He has been a guy who has moved around a little bit, but when AJ Storr committed to Kansas, he was said to be one of the more impactful transfers in the country. He had an amazing season his sophomore year at Wisconsin. He was first team All Big Ten, averaged almost 17 points a game, 4 rebounds. He was one of the better scorers in the Big Ten, one of the better players in the country that year. Transfers to Kansas. Everyone thinks it's going to kind of work out the way it should. Does not work out the way it should at all. Only starts 4 games, only averages 15 minutes a game. Career lows and everything, points, field goal percentage, minutes, all across the board. Just, for lack of a better term, kind of a disastrous year for him in Lawrence. And now he's looking to move on and find his next school. Dion, I'll throw it to you first. What are your thoughts on Store in the portal? And then I guess this just dropped, so no schools are listening to things like that. But what do you think about AJ Store's game just in general, and maybe what his fit could be?
I mean, I think AJ Storr, I want to call him a plug and play guy, just based off like how he was at Wisconsin, and I do still feel that way. He didn't plug and play well at Kansas, though. I think Kansas had larger issues, but I mean, this is a guy that averaged 17 points a game at Wisconsin. He gets to the basket really easy. Not the greatest shooter, but he's not like he won't kill you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't just leave him alone at the 3-point line.
Right.
So I feel like he's kind of plug and play. If he commits on the defensive end, just like anybody else, like it only increases his stock, I would say. If I'm a Power Five, I'm taking a chance. I look at this Kansas team and I'm like, this was a disaster, start to finish.
Yeah, he seems like the player that ended up in Bill Self's doghouse, and that might be one of the toughest doghouses to ever get out of. It just never worked out. I mean, Bill Self was verbally and he said straight up that he was frustrated with AJ Store's play, his defense and things like that. He just never really got a chance, and I think you hit the nail on the head. AJ Store didn't play the best this year. Kansas had so many issues that I don't even know if AJ Storr could have played well. He did have a big game for them in the tournament. They ended up losing that game, but he was an integral part in that one. Um, and also had some good games in the Big 12 tournament as well. But yeah, I think a 6'7", 200 pound strong, athletic, like forward scoring type is going to be wanted by a lot of people. This was probably a top five most coveted transfer last year when he was in the portal. I think it's going to be that way again. He's an Illinois native. I don't know if the Fighting Illini want to throw their hat back in that ring and maybe see if they could pick him up. But I think some other schools will be calling. So he started his career at St. John's, then to Wisconsin, then to Kansas. So he's been in Big East, Big Ten, and the Big 12. I feel like an SEC school needs to step up, or an ACC school needs to step up.
Um, was Patino at St. John's with him?
I want to say no.
I want to say no too. If Patino wasn't, I love the idea of him going back to St. John's.
So, okay, I might be mistaken here because I had that same thought, but I think AJ Storr wanted some guarantees from Patino, and Patino said no, and that's why he left for Wisconsin.
Got it.
So,
Okay, well then maybe don't go back to St. John's then,
yeah.
AJ.
We'll wait to see like what the list looks like. I got a couple options. I think there would be some wing guard opportunities at like because you at Florida with Todd
Yeah.
Golden. I think they could maybe give him a chance. I'm trying to think of some other spot. I don't know. I feel like all the high major schools should be calling him.
I think NC State.
Oh,
NC State
Him and Will Wade do seem like a match
and
made.
Will Wade. He feels like a guy that would stand next to Amir with Boombox. NC State's also the perfect like middle ground. Will Wade might put a team together where AJ Storr can kind of fit in a role. He also might not, and AJ Storr can do exactly what he went to Kansas to do, which is shoot a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many spots he'll have where he'll be guaranteed to do what he wants to do. And NC State can kind of promise that a little bit more than other schools, I think.
Yeah, and also I can just picture him in an LSU jersey too. I don't know why, I don't know how, but I could just see him in an LSU jersey. It feels like it would fit. Now obviously he just entered the portal. And I guess I do get your sentiments on him, but I just want to make sure we're on the same. Like you're still a believer in AJ Storr as the college back. Like you still think that he can be what he was at Wisconsin, somewhere else.
I believe in AJ Storr, the college basketball player. I think if his goal was to go to the NBA, he's the one of those guys that, the NIL bags that he got, although worth it, probably cost him a lot of money on the back end. I think
Yeah.
as an NBA player, I think I'm out. But as a college basketball player, like I definitely think he can get back to what he did at Wisconsin. The biggest indictment on him, I would say, has nothing to do with him. The success John Tanji had makes me wonder so much about like, is it Story, is it Tanji, is it just Greg Gard?
Yeah, because and that goes all the way back like Johnny Davis, who is now fighting for his NBA life, was like Big Ten Player of the Year for Greg Gard. So it's like, is Greg Gard just like this whisperer that can get it done, or is AJ Storr a player who can actually be productive? It'll be interesting to see where he ends up. Obviously, a list of suitors will come out for him soon, and when that does, we will have the updates here on Sleepers Media YouTube channel. Once again, as it seems is always the case, AJ Storr is back in the portal looking for his next stop. It is March, and that means that March Madness is upon us. And if you are looking for a place to play, Underdog Fantasy has you covered. Sign up and deposit using code SLEEPERS, that's code SLEEPERS, to receive up to $1,000 in bonus credit plus a free pick. Head over to Underdog Fantasy today and use promo code SLEEPERS to take advantage of this amazing offer.